Hi, this is Jim Pallarino, and I want to talk a little bit about mind control. Now, we have a lot of videos out there about mind control. It's something that Alex Jones refers to all the time, mind control. But you gotta talk about the techniques used when you talk about mind control and how they're employed and how they work really, so that people can be aware that mind control is happening to them. Each and every organized religion uses and employs mind control. Mind control techniques. I think what I'm going to talk about is like hypnosis techniques, really. Um, I should know more about this myself, like on how it works in the neurons in your brain, in the people's brains, more scientifically know like how it works. But um, people have been using hypnosis for thousands of years without knowing precisely how it works, just knowing that this is what occurs. The people that are employing it, I mean, they didn't have any knowledge about this part, section, brain cells, this section of the brain, that section of the brain. I don't think, right, to that extent. They had their theories, I assume, but not to, they didn't know to that extent. And yet we're still able to employ hypnosis techniques. The mind control that I want to refer to and talk about is hypnosis techniques. Now, I was seeing a psychologist. He was like a pretty good guy. His name was Dr. Richmond, and I was like watching. I was watching like on television this the Man Show, which was on Comedy Central with like Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla, right? And they had like this hypnosis guy on, right? And he would have people in the audience get up on stage and do all kinds of crazy shit. Now, we've all seen things like that before, right? So I talked to my psychiatrist, Dr. Richmond. Like, is this real? Because it seems they just probably were paid actors to me. Hey, you want to be on stage, do some stupid things, make pretend hypnosis exists? Is kind of what I was thinking. And so my psychiatrist said, no, it's a very real phenomenon, hypnosis. Um, what a hypnotist does, right? When he gets in front of a large audience, he'll go through a test, right? He'll test out members of the audience, right? He'll do a little hypnosis thing on them. He'll tell them to hold their hands, or like some sort of test, kind of like this, above their heads, and like tell them this is an unbreakable bond. Then he goes into like a certain cadence kind of thing, and he did it with me, my psychiatrist, right? This is an unbreakable bond of steel bonds. These are what your arms are. Except he doesn't say it like I'm saying it right now, just kind of like a smooth flowing voice. I want you to imagine your two arms are steel rods, powerful, strict, rigid, bonded together. They can never be broken. Strong, and then takes a little practice. I think then he said to me, "Okay, drop your arms." I was like, And I hesitated. I did. I hesitated a little bit after he got through with his bit, right? Like before I dropped it, just like a fraction of a second, I hesitated. I was like, "Whoa, it is real." It just, he just did it to me a little bit, not as if he goes, "Yeah, it's real." And there are some people in the audience that the hypnotist does this to, right? He does it to the whole audience. And there are some people, he's got assistants working for him, checking, like looking out amongst the audience. And there are some people, really, they just have this like difficult time dropping their hands. The hypnosis was like really effective upon these people. These people, it's easy to suggest things to. So he has this noted. The people in the audience that are susceptible, and then he hypnotizes them and has them on stage doing all these crazy things. So this is employed quite a bit by certain Christian sects, and it's a basic hypnosis kind of thing. And he had a preacher that will have like his congregation close their eyes. That's one of the keys, closing their eyes. And then he has them feel good about themselves, right? And I guess the steel, like your arms are too strong steel, that's also having the person feel good about themselves, because they're strong, rigid arms, right? So the preacher has them feel good about themselves. They close your eyes and just let the love flow right directly on into you, and understand that this is Jesus' love, and that Jesus loves you. He loves you beyond. So they go through the spiel that Jesus loves these people. These people are loved, and then they start feeling this wonderful feeling inside, right? There during the ceremony that they're in, and the congregation, without knowing it, because he invokes this person, right, that may or may not have existed like 2,000 years ago, Jesus, he invokes that guy's name, right, and that Jesus loves them and this and that, right. Then they start feeling, the key is they really start feeling very wonderful about themselves, right? It can get to the point of like ecstatic, like on the church floor, like writhing around in ecstasy. It can get that like that, depending on the person. That person will make a mental connection. That congregation will make a mental connection with that goodness feeling and the preacher that brought it out, and that name, Jesus, and make the correlation that the preacher is Jesus. And the preacher is not Jesus. Let me state again. The preacher is not Jesus. He is a preacher. He is a human. He has things about him that he does that are very human, that might not be very good from time to time. He's not a perfect creature. He is a human. He is not Jesus. And yet the congregation makes the correlation between wonderfulness, Jesus, and the preacher being Jesus. That's the correlation that occurs. It keeps him coming back. It keeps him giving lots and lots of money to the preacher. The preacher can then abuse that if he wants to, because he's got them under this control. Don't really know like what to say. Hopefully, there's a good preacher. He's harmless. He's not extracting a lot of money from his congregation. Right? If he's extremely wealthy and he's got condos here, there, and everywhere, that's a sign of a dishonest preacher, right? That's just using you to take your money, and he's making you feel good, and he's got you hooked in, and there's no escaping, right? Okay. Further hypnosis techniques, right? Scientology. Scientology employs hypnosis techniques. All religions do, pretty much. And Scientology is no exception. And Christianity is no exception as well. So let's not, let's get real here with this. Okay, hypnosis techniques, Scientology, right? They have a point in time during their training of the individual, right? This one is going to steal money from you, though. This is with absolute certainty, right? Like with Christianity, like it depends on the preacher. Sometimes you have a crooked preacher, right? That's going to do that. But I mean, not all the times, just sometimes, But with Scientology, we have this hypnosis technique employed. But one thing is for certain: they are going to steal money from you. It is going to happen. 100% certain. Will occur. Okay, so Scientology, right? They get the person into the suggestive state through hypnosis, right? Where that person is kind of just like a blank nothing. And that's what occurs with the Christianity preacher hypnosis technique employed that I just talked about then. I want you to close your eyes, and it's about putting a person into a mental state of suggestibility, right? And they employ it. L. Ron Hubbard learned these procedures, and they're very effective. But it's all pretty much the same sort of thing, right? They get the person to the point where that person is clear. That person is clear because there ain't nothing going on up here, really. You're just thoroughly clear. Once the person is clear, they can be programmed to learn about Xenon and aliens that came to Earth and created. We dropped some sort of alien into a volcano, and the souls just started. I don't know. Bunch of nonsense. But with Scientology, they will steal your money. Okay. Now, someone who uses a technique like he doesn't call it making the person clear, where there's nothing there, but he refers to it as ego stripping. And I'm talking about Lyndon Larouche. Now, Lyndon Larouche will appear on Alex Jones, and he's got his own, like he ran for the Democratic nomination a number of times. He's got his own political action committee, Larouche PAC, right? If you watch some of his, like, if you watch the people, the young people that are on LPAC, Larouche PAC, that are talking, right? These people are saying like things that take learning, and it's like they're saying things that are smart things, right? Right. Well, I think we have, they don't use. We really must reinstate Glass-Steagall, right? And they're saying things that are very smart things to say. Someone that says these things are learned, and yet, just watch it, just listen to them. You can kind of just feel it. I don't know how to explain it. You can kind of just feel it. They're saying all these smart things, and yet you can just that they're just like, after a little while, they're fucking parrots. they're parrots that are saying smart things, right? They're repeat, but they're just repeating the smartness that some other smart person came up with, really. And that's it. They're just parrots. Parrot, parrot, parrot. Here, we must reinstate Glass-Steagall. The only way we can ever solve any problem on Earth is reinstating Glass-Steagall. Now, I believe Glass-Steagall should be reinstated as well, but I don't think that ends all suffering on Earth. I mean, some they go a little crazy. Because the parrots, all they do is parrot, parrot, parrot what someone else said. What Lyndon Larouche taught them. Lyndon Larouche goes through a process with these people where it's like the same as like Scientology, making someone clear, right? He strips their ego. It's a little different procedure, but once he calls it ego stripping. He strips their ego and he makes a person cry by insulting them and wanting like mommy and daddy and comfort and that sort of thing. Then okay, the ego is stripped. Then he offers the comfort that you can find can be found here in Lyndon Larouche. Lyndon Larouche will solve all your comfort needs. Now you are a full-blown Larouche pack man-child, woman-child, willing to work for me because I am. Like it's the Jesus figure thing again. I'm the daddy. I'm the comforter. I am this like the preacher, like in Scientology. It's the same thing over and over. So I suggest some of you like look at like Larouche Pack, L-Pack, and all the little brainwashed people that are talking. They're going to be saying really intelligent things, but yeah, you can tell there's just something like not right about the situation. All right, have a nice day.